Welcome to the workshop at the Concord Free Public Library. My name's Christy, and I'm here today to show you how to safely operate the workshop's Sizzix die cutters. Let's start with the safety notes. Our die cutters are generally pretty safe to use, but you should be careful when handling metal dies, which may have sharp edges left over from the manufacturing process. It also takes a fair amount of physical strength to operate the die cutter, so younger makers or makers with existing injuries or joint problems may not be able to use the machine safely. A first aid kit is available at the workshop's front desk in case of injury. Now let's take a look at materials. Die cutters apply high amounts of pressure to metal patterns called dies to precisely cut shapes out of paper or thin fabrics, basically like cookie cutters. They can also use plastic molds called embossing folders to press patterns into paper. Unlike computerized paper cutters, such as our Cricut machines, die cutters require purchasing a separate individual die for each shape you'd like to cut and a separate individual folder for each pattern you'd like to emboss. This means that if you'd like to cut multiple copies of the same shape, you'll either need to run the machine multiple times or purchase multiple identical dies. Additionally, our die cutter's maximum cut areas are significantly smaller than that of most of our Cricut machines. But with those limitations in mind, die cutters also offer significant advantages over computerized cutters depending on your project. Computerized cutters have to individually cut every line in a design with a single blade, which means that complex designs like entire alphabets can take anywhere from a few minutes to over an hour to produce. Plus, the adhesive mats Cricuts use can make removing those complex designs challenging and time-consuming. In comparison, die cutters take about 5 seconds to make a cut regardless of its complexity, and the cutting pads aren't adhesive, so there's no risk of your material coming unstuck or tearing when it's removed. And while there may be a bit of trial and error to find the correct technique for a die cutting project, there's no complex computer software to navigate. The workshop offers a variety of dies and embossing folders you can use while you're here, where you can purchase your own wherever scrapbooking supplies are sold. Just be sure to check our current adapter and accessory holdings on our website at cfpl.info/reserveatool, as well as compatibility information on the manufacturer's website at cfpl.info/Sizzix compatibility. Okay, let's get making. Start by placing the die cutter on an even work surface. If the die cutter you're using has a detachable handle, you may need to locate and attach it. Now it's time to build what's called a die sandwich. Depending on their intended application, dies and embossing folders come in a wide range of formats and can vary from a few millimeters to over an inch in thickness. To account for this variation, you'll need to layer them together with your material in a sandwich of pads and adapters before passing them through the machine to generate an appropriate amount of pressure for the tool you're using. This might feel a little complicated at first, but Sizzix provides thorough guides to the sandwiching process both in print on the adapters themselves and on their website. In this video, we'll demonstrate the sandwiching technique for just two types of die cutting tools, a wafer-thin die and an embossing folder. But you can find recommended sandwiching diagrams for most tools printed directly on Sizzix adapters or online at cfpl.info/Sizzix sandwich. To use a wafer-thin die to cut paper, start by stacking a standard platform with adapter A. Now place a cutting pad on top. The workshop offers both Sizzix's standard clear plastic cutting pads as well as self-healing and magnetic cutting pads. Now you can arrange your paper on the stack. Place your dies on top of the paper with the ridged edges down against the paper. If you'd like, you can use a bit of low-tech masking tape to hold your dies in place on your material. Finish your sandwich with a clear cutting pad and carefully pick up the entire stack to feed into the slot on the front of the machine. With the sandwich evenly pressed against the rollers, turn the handle to pull it all the way through the machine. The handle should take a fair amount of strength to turn, and you may even hear some crackling sounds as the plastic pads warp slightly in the machine. But if it feels like you need to force the handle or use another tool to help you turn it, your sandwich is probably too thick. If your shapes don't cut all the way through your material, your sandwich may be too thin, your material may be too thick for your dies, or your dies may be too close together to press evenly into the material. In any case, double check the provided diagrams or experiment by adding or subtracting a layer to create the correct amount of pressure on your material. Just be sure never to cut material directly on an adapter or cutting platform without a cutting pad to protect it. When your sandwich is passed all the way through the machine, remove it and unstack your layers to reveal your finished die cuts. Depending on your die, you may need to use a pick or other tool to gently remove material from the pattern. Avoid bending the die itself, as this may cause permanent warping. To use an embossing folder to mold paper, start with a standard platform again, but this time place the bottom cutting pad directly on top of the platform without an adapter. Next, open the embossing folder and place the paper you'd like to emboss inside. Add the folder to the platform, then finish your sandwich with another cutting pad. Carefully pick up the entire stack to feed into the slot on the front of the machine. With the sandwich evenly pressed against the rollers, turn the handle to pull it all the way through the machine. Unstack your layers and open the embossing folder to reveal your molded paper. Congratulations, you're now a trained maker. If you want to learn more about everything our die cutters can do, you can visit sizzix.com for more information and tutorials direct from the manufacturer. The workshop is made possible by the generous support of the Concord Free Public Library Corporation, a nonprofit organization supported by makers like you. Learn more about all the corporation does to make our library awesome and how you can help at cfpl.info. And if you just can't get enough making, be sure to check out the workshop's full library of maker tools at cfpl.info/workshop.